Hey guys, it's here bringing you another video, and welcome back to another viewer spectate. And today we have traveled the globe. We're actually down under and we're on OCE. Today we are watching, I call him Nocturne. He goes by Serenity nowadays. But playing Akali, and this game was a bit of a doozy from what I could tell in, you know, just like looking at the stats and stuff. So team comp wise, obviously his team, blue team, does not have a typical AD carry. But they do have a Yasuo, which obviously Yasuo is basically a melee AD carry. But interestingly enough, the Yasuo is running Conqueror, not Lethal Tempo. That's a little bit weird. The enemy team has a bit more of a standard comp. I also just noticed, like, is that normal that the health bars are either side of the screen? Is it not normally, like, over there? I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, we're playing Akali. Now, the benefit... Well, what I would say when it comes to team comps, I would say the advantage is always the team that has an actual AD carry. But where that can sometimes not be an advantage, or what you can negate it, meanwhile, first trade not going too well. So the first thing I'd say there, recovered it with the electrocute proc. Notice that Akali walked towards enemy territory. When you're doing that at a level 1 fight, you're basically going to be tanking a lot of minions. So you could have negated a little bit less damage by just not tanking the minions. Also worth knowing, just very quickly, before I finish the point I was making originally, get to the level 2-1 minion. Yeah. So Sylas got there a little bit quicker. It takes a tower shot. This should be a dead Sylas, potentially. But yeah, what I was going to say is barrier on Akali. I don't know if that was 100% intentional. Obviously, Sylas is a scary champion. But with Ignite, and that's the thing, the Ignite advantage, there's the barrier. Ew, and you get the kill. So it worked out with the barrier. Actually did save your life. But I would always, the way that I always define champions in League when it comes to item builds and runes and summoner spells is, for me, you should empower the strength of the champion rather than carry, like, you know, most of the time carry off a weakness. So Akali's strength is killing things. That's what she's amazing at doing. So for me, having the Ignite would be better because that kind of emphasizes the fantasy of Akali in killing things. Obviously, in that example, it works quite well because, you know, you got to get Sylas kill and he ended up dead. But as you know, throughout the rest of the game, what I was about to say earlier is I would always give the advantage to the team that has the AD carry. But when you have a champion like an Akali, if an assassin can just assassinate an AD carry, then it kind of negates having you know, the enemy having one. But we'll see as the game progresses. Is there going to be moments that you know, an Ignite would have made a big difference or not? We will see. Nice little trading pattern happening here, though. Worth knowing, rating wise, we are in platinum, low platinum OCE. So you know, not a bad rank. I think technically above average. Big trading happening up in top lane. They do kill the Graves, which is nice. So overall, the game's not going too bad. Farming is going okay for Mr. Nocturne on Akali. Could be a little bit better, but the thing is, champs like Akali, their tricky part is actually maintaining really good positive farm. Especially when you're laning against something like a Sylas that's very high tempo, high pressure, and you're like, well, if I let him eat on me, I'm going to lose half my health bar, and that's kind of the thing you're always having to kind of toy around with. So, not too bad to start with. Obviously, Mel, Morgana bot lane, incredible amount of CC. You know, if a Morgana bind lands and an E from the Mel surely can follow up, and that could go pretty well. Brom, however, would be quite a powerful thing against that. Brom is very good against anti-all-in. And also negating projectiles. So, you know, I think it could be a bit tricky for that lane, but we'll see. Oh, wow, this Graves. This Graves just got killed and then immediately is going to go invade. That is some strange confidence is the way that I would word that. So you can see the Sylas is... Why is the Sylas walking this way? So immediately what would make in my mind... Sylas is going there because the Graves is there. You know this. So the Graves is trying to counter jungle, but he's not doing too well. Sylas is actually getting... Whoa. Sylas is getting rid of potential file. I'd go all in for the Graves here. Even if you have to commit everything, just get the kill. Got the kill. The reason why I'd say fully commit, yes, the Sylas gets a double kill. It got you the 3 kills, so that was the right play from what happened. But because how low Nocturne was, realistically, maybe that play should have just been, right, give it to him and the end of, because that just gave Sylas a double kill. So one of the skills in League that I very much often see people not do well, even up to like the ratings I play in, is know when a player's not good and actually going, nah, just walk out of this. We're not going to take it. Just let them do it. And that can happen for jungle creeps. Like, this is Sylas, by the way, invading again. This Sylas is playing Giga aggro. He's going to get punished for it. He does get another kill, but it's another kill for Akali. So Sylas is the type of champion that he's on the strong side of balance. You could probably word it in that way. Definitely the strong side of balance of solo queue, hyper aggressive, relatively easy to play. So he is a hard champion to deal with, definitely. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, one of the skills of League that I think most people could improve on is just walking out of place. You know, all of those plays that just happened, it just gave Sylas 3 kills. So he started 0-1 after the first negative kill for the Akali. Like, he lost out the first trade. And now ever since that, he's gained 3 kills with only dying 1 more time. So you can see, like, where, especially I'd say this play, you could have just gone, let's just not go for this. That would have been 2 less kills for the Sylas, where your team only gained 1 killing the Nocturne. It's just the type of thing to think about, is what I would say. So he obviously has level 6 advantage. You now have hit level 6. Going all in, I like this. Very nice kill. So time up XP and going all in at the right time is really, really good. So fundamentally, that was just a really good play. You hit level 6 while a fight was going on, and that caught the Sylas off guard. Obviously, depending what rank you are in, people don't track XP very well. Fundamentally, you should try to track XP relatively, you know, in a decent way. Try to push this as quick as possible and then reset. But yeah, what I really liked what Akali just did is level up, and because Sylas was kind of committed, was like, oh, and here we go again. Do we have W? We don't have W with flash, but oh, good barrier, good slow, and there you go. So yeah, this Sylas is all out aggressive. There is not much thought going on with this Sylas. It's just go aggro all the time. But that's the thing, Sylas is a champion that can get away with that. Not every champion can, by the way. But item, full purchase, complete. So with item advantage, the moment that your ultimate is back, 30 seconds, I then would go for another fight on Sylas. Nocturne is on the back foot of the enemy team, but I think that's going to be that. And there we go. So I would still, so far, would say I would definitely think about the barrier. I know there's been examples this game that it's been good, but in the same regard, Ignite would actually affect a Sylas a lot as well. So potential big fight happening here. Oh, you nearly got that. Could potentially look for this because he's got low mana, but I think the play is just going to be off. Level 6 Morgana advantage, but she did use ultimate already. Mel's getting kind of zoned, so just return to mid to get some farm. But yeah, so sorry. The Ignite would affect Sylas in 2 ways. So 1, it will be doing damage, and 2, it gives grievous wounds. And Sylas is a heal champion. He heals off his W, so it would be impacting that in both ways. So it'd be interesting to see how the barrier progresses as the game goes on. But obviously, as you can see from this game, if you know, I could hear Luchton right now say, why go barrier? Sylas is just an insanely aggressive champion. And get that cannon. Oh, cannon minion. So yeah, that's what, if I had to guess, it's just Sylas is giga aggressive, does ridiculous damage. I'm just having barrier to have that survival, because the thing is, Akali does scale incredibly well. So maybe the logic is survive the lane phase, and then I'm Akali in mid to late game. So yeah. So one thing I would also say about just the mid lane in general, it hasn't impacted it this much so far, but there is not a lot of vision around mid lane. You know, we've got no vision like kind of in this general area. Obviously there's Pinkwood there. I would say like there's not been a lot of ganks around mid. It's more been about junglers invading and stuff, which has been a bit weird. But yeah, so what I would personally do here is push this in, maybe hover over, clear the pink ward, get rid of that kind of money. The thing you have to always realize when it comes to pink wards, and it's a kind of thing that I don't think a lot of people think about, is whenever you kill a pink ward, you've basically just wasted 75 gold of the enemy team. So where an enemy team could be, let's say, 400 gold ahead, but if you in that time have killed 4 or 5 pink wards, really they're not ahead because you've negated it you've negated the gold lead of what they've actually purchased. So that's always worth knowing. Definitely try and clear pink wards if you do see them. Oh, the cannon. Oh, the all-in is happening. Do have barrier again. I think you might be dead. Again, oh, I wouldn't have autoed that. I think got E. Oh, he missed. Oh, and then he hit the Q. So yeah, the Sylas is damage, and I will say, if anything, this is kind of just highlighting Sylas is a little bit silly. You know, this is item complete versus components, and that wasn't amazingly close. And it's not like you misplayed it a stupid amount. You did fine. It's just his damage is so much higher. Obviously, it's worth knowing Akali as a champion does the highest. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's still true. Akali has the highest base damage in League of Legends without single items. In late game, her full combo does well over 2,000 damage without a single item. It's the highest damage of any champion. So that's the thing. When you do see Akali in late game just take over, it's because add items onto her high crazy base damage. Yeah, she does very, very well. So, ooh. This Sylas, dude, he is just absolutely insane, isn't he? But I would definitely not play this if I was the Nocturne. He's going to go for 1 kill. He does get it, but he's definitely dead. So I think there could be an issue with this Sylas moving through the game. Obviously, the Graves is having a really, really, really rough time. All in happening. I like this. If the Mel comes over and actually helps the fight, Sylas is the Mel was a little bit slow, unfortunately. So the thing that I would say what Nocturne as the Akali could definitely do, and you know, he's not having a bad game as such, it's 5-3, is I think what we mentioned earlier. And not all of it is on Nocturne, obviously. Like, that play happened because the Nocturne stuff. But I definitely feel there could be some decisions of not taking plays. You know, it's that kind of I scale. I know I scale. Ooh, that would have been bad. Obviously, Yasuo's died up in top lane as well, by the way. I would say because he doesn't have lethal tempo. Lethal tempo gives him so much damage. So it's weird to see a Yasuo with Conqueror. But yeah, so that's what I would say is... If I had to guess, the barrier take is because I'm Akali, I scale, I'll be eventually really strong, I just need to get through lane phase. But then the kind of forcing constant fights in lane phase kind of contradicts kind of that, I'm just going to farm, I'm just going to scale to that mid to late game. Obviously, if there's fights that kind of are free, take them. But a lot of these fights have not been free, they've been a little bit, let's say, a bit too close. But the game itself isn't going dreadfully. I will say the fact that the Jinx, yes, she's 0-1, but she's farming really nicely. I will say I do worry about blue team's kind of mid to late game. Uh-oh. Nice. This could be a kill. Oh, the rocket. Could have potentially summoned a spell used. So yeah, like, again, obviously mechanically could have maybe played it a little bit better with using summons, dodging the rocket and stuff, but... It does go back to what I've been saying, kind of when I do these viewer spectates, I don't want to like load, you know, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. I try to kind of just get a few key things, like one to 3 points that, you know, you could easily just take it and go, right, I'll work on that specifically. And so far, I would say my advice so far would be it's the main thing is learning when to take fights or saying, I don't have to fight this. To me, that's the bigger thing so far, I would say, this game. Oh, God. I know, obviously, in more average ranks, a lot of people just play, by default, very aggressive. But this is crazy aggressive. Everyone just wants to fight constantly. Obviously, again, going into when to take a fight, do not take this fight right now. He has Morgana ultimate. So you're giving a Sylas an extra layer of CC. That is not a fight that I would want to take at all. So again, it's having that kind of being reserved enough that going, I don't want to fight this. Oh, God. So the fight is happening. He is backing away because he is technically outnumbered. I think he just gets away. Yeah. But again, looking for that fight that you just don't really need to. The thing I'd say the luxury, especially of when you're playing a scaling champion, is you don't have to take crazy fights in the early game. Like, if this was a Renekton replay, I'd be saying the complete opposite. I'd be like, no, no, look for fights. But because you're playing Akali, she's an absolute goddess of mid to late game, you don't have to, you know? And if it's at all risky, you know, if it's something that could go wrong, then it's just not worth taking the risk when you're playing a late game champion. Obviously, the way of this positioning, Lucian, if I had to guess, wants to go for another fight. You gonna go for that? No, I wouldn't. So that's good. Good reserve holding. Obviously, winning in farm a little bit. This Sylas has played in such a aggressive way. I'm not surprised this farm is a bit lacking. Uh-oh. He might look for a fight. Even at this low health, again, this is where I'd say a lack of ignite does hurt Lucian on Akali, because this Sylas knows he has incredible damage. He has CC if he lands it, and if he does hit that W, he does get some healing. So it's where that ignite, which would just give you instantaneous damage, true damage back, and reduce his healing that his own W is doing. That's where I would say that would have been potentially more worth it this game. But like combined with playing more reserved in the very early game, and then eventually the ignite would come into its own. Because as for grievous wounds, the Morgana should be buying one definitely as a Morello Nomicon. But then realistically, like a Yasuo might get one, but way later into the game. You do not want to be buying practically any grievous wounds on an Akali. Like the problem with grievous wounds items as a whole, like not really. Like Thornmail's a tank item, obviously you're not buying that on Akali. But when it comes to a damage-orientated one, Morello Nomicon is like the worst damage anti-heal item in the game. It really doesn't give you that much bang for your buck, because part of the item's strength is going on anti-heal. So it's not really something you'd want to buy on Akali when there's so many more powerful items that can, like, you know, make you so much stronger. So that's, again, we're having the ignite, because grievous wounds. If you look at the enemy team comp, Gwen heals. Graves can heal eventually with depending what his item, if he gets a bloodthirster or something. Sylas obviously heals. Jinx can heal depending on items. So they have a decent amount of healing on their comp. Yasuo going for a 2v1. Not really sure this is the greatest idea. So it's not going too well for blue team right now. They did just get double killed 2v2 in mid lane. Nocturne's doing kind of okay though. Jinx, no idea why she's done this. Oh, that. Okay, I'm gonna say something. You should have taken that kill. 100%. So, like, I know, like, the polite thing is going, oh, Nocturne got this, he got the pick, like, I'll give him the kill. Screw that, you're playing Akali. If you're playing Akali, take the kills. Like, I would take every single kill. This is a really good play. Take it. Okay. See, that's the thing, is Nocturne he's not a great carry. He's good at setting everybody else up. He's good at individually killing one person. He can't do what an Akali can do. So I would say it's something that I've always struggled with as personally in a solo queue. Going, no, I'm playing a carry. I'm taking kills. Let me also reduce the music volume because the music's really loud. So that 100% in that little skirmish, what, 3 of the enemy team died? At least one of them. At least one. Oh. So close. At least one of them you should have 100% taken. I think you should have taken the Jinx. Oh, here we go. Auto. Thank you. Okay. Enemy team is now kind of throwing pretty hard, which is weird. So again, this game has been absolutely insane aggressive. Like, insane aggressive. Everyone's split up. Sylas has already used his oh, the damage barrier. Nice E over the wall, and then long live and prosper Morgana. Oh, lovely. But now you're in trouble, potentially. Use your mobility. Can you get away? No, you can't. Graves ult with a collector. But overall, that whole play was actually quite good for blue team. Gold-wise, it's a very close game. A 200-300 gold difference at 20 minutes in, 1 kill difference. This game is even. Like, fundamentally, it's even. It kind of goes to that thing I spoke about. Is we know one pink ward was killed here, maybe a different pink ward was killed here and there. So when it comes to, you know, boiling it down to gold wasted from killing pink wards and stuff, or using pink wards, probably a relatively even gold game. And, you know, remember, that's a 300 gold lead across 5 champions. So that's less than a dagger component on one champion spread across everybody on your team. So realistically, this game is dead even. Sylas has still not crossed 100 farm, by the way. So that's one thing I would definitely say there could be an improvement for Luchton, and it's one that obviously I myself always need to get better at. But gold, when it comes to farming CS, is the easiest way to get rich in the game. Like, if you took this 120 and you just kind of looked at matched whoever's at the highest, so 175, 160, 170 farm, if you added 50 odd farm to Akali right now, well, that's like another component of an item. That's the difference of, oh, the Jinx is dead now because I had an extra component. So that is definitely worth considering. So yeah, obviously Gwen, very scary split pusher champ. I do think... Ooh, here we go. Nice. Nice, nice. Very nice. Graves was doing this? What the hell? Okay, TP by Gwen. Yasuo needs to match this. Obviously, Yasuo... This is so low and Yasuo's not moving. This is not great. To be honest, like, that's on Yasuo. The fact that he's just randomly top lane. He has teleport available, by the way. That's just on the Yasuo. The fact that he's up there is kind of insane. Because, like, he's not going to kill this tier 2. Demolish? Bro's running Demolish on Yasuo. What the hell? Okay, that's unique. So, you know, look at the farm difference of the Yasuo. Maybe he is getting the tier 2 because he has Demolish on Yasuo. This Yasuo is committing to, how do I say, the wrong playstyle. He's playing Yasuo like a top laner, and you might go, Huz, he's playing top lane, so isn't that not the right thing to do? Not really. Like, Yasuo's strength is not really being alone split pushing. He can do it, it's just not his ultimate strength. And especially, like, if Gwen is just staying top and just staying on side lane, sure, match it. But when Gwen TPs for a global play, you need to match that 100%. It's not Yasuo's job to go, I'm just going to side lane and kill towers. That's not a Yasuo's strength at all. Another unfortunate 2v2 for the blue team bot lane. So obviously there's not really much Mr. Luchton can do about that. I would have committed to help fight the Gwen, though. Good fear, and bam. Nice. Take those kills, Mr. Luchton. Get as fed as you possibly can. That's the thing I would say, is, like, it depends what type of champions you play in solo queue. Like, if you're playing top lane, and you're playing Shen, and your jungler ganks, and it's like, oh, you could take the kill. You could take it, but if they're playing Kha'Zix, maybe give the Kha'Zix the kill. But if you're playing anything Harry-esque, take kills. Like, in my mind, take pretty much every kill you possibly can get if you trust yourself to carry. And, you know, get yourself to a very strong point. You know, you're semi-strong right now. You got 9 kills. But get yourself to a giga-fed state and then take over the game and then be generous of like, oh, I'll give you the kill. I'll give you the kill. That's what I would do. Nice bind. Very nice. Oh, eats into the mine, but it's fine. This is good. Oh, careful your health. Okay. Nice. We'll take that. This should be a win for blue. Oh, good Bromwell. Oh, holy moly. Mechanics in Platinum were better than I thought they would be. That was actually pretty good. Unfortunate Brom basically just blocks everything. Boom. Oh, Gwen's here. Oh, he's so low. I don't think he's dead. Now Gwen is going to probably clean up on Isle Gwen. Yeah. Oh, that barrier. I don't know if I would have used that. Yeah. I think the Gwen is going to be a problem as the game goes on. And you know, I don't mean to whatevers. I think the Yasuo not having lethal tempo is bad. Because it's going to affect Yasuo's scaling. That's the problem. Conqueror's not going to give him that much. Lethal tempo gives him so much damage. The fact he doesn't have a lethal tempo, it's going to affect his late game. And when you don't have an AD carry, you've got a Mel. Actually having that late game lethal tempo scaling is kind of what you need a Yasuo to do. So we'll see how it goes. But overall, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't bad at all. Baron obviously is on the table. Vision is definitely something I would think about. So I will say an area as well I've not mentioned a crazy amount what Luchton could potentially improve on a little bit is just vision control. Not many pink wards have been purchased. Maybe a little bit more vision just being spread around the map would be good. I'm not really sure what the Jinx is doing. She's done this now a couple... She's done this a couple of times, just being alone and not respecting there's a Nocturne and a strong Nocturne in the game. Oh, nice Mel reflect. I would kill that Brom, kill that Brom, kill that Brom. There we go. So Gwen's coming in. Sylas isn't with them. I would, yeah, go all in on the target you can actively kill. Oh, that's bad. So this Graves is level 16 and he's popping off. Like, Mel went for the Gwen, which isn't too bad. Yasuo does kill the Sylas, which is good. And now the fight is going to happen. So nice, good kill. So that's an ace. They actually aced them. Crazy fights. But yeah, this is, you're starting also to see the power of Graves in late game. Very strong champion. You know, fundamentally, he's an AD carry. AD carries are, what, practically the best scaling class in the game. Maybe mages, you could say, scale a bit better. Oh, nice! Hell yeah! Take it back, baby! Boom. Good W. Very good. So I'm not really sure, I will say, on that play. Obviously, the fight was kind of spread. Not 100% sure if Lucian had sums at the time, but if I had to guess, he probably got surprised by how much damage the Graves dealt. That would probably be my guess of what happened. But yeah, Graves can deal big damage. Fundamentally, he's got 4 items complete. Like, or, you know, he might have not had 4 completely. Okay, that's actually not the worst thing in the world, by the way, a tier 2 dying. And if you're like, really? A tier 2 dying with no enemy to collect it? That's 700 gold that no one's getting. That's actually not the worst thing in the world. Ooh, I would go all in for this. Jinx doing it again, baby! So, you know, I mentioned earlier, oh, you know, I'd always give the advantage to the team that has an AD carry. But where you get rid of that advantage if you just murder the AD carry straight away every fight. So, like, the Jinx has now, what, 3 times in a row? Just completely been like, I'm being a bit caught, I'm overextending as an immobile AD carry, and then Nocturne's going to jump on my face. So, that's how you negate them having an AD carry, is you just, well, you negate it by negating them. So they are thinking about Baron. I mean, yes and no, I would say to this. There are positives of doing Baron, but there's also high risk. This game is still quite close. And it's the type of thing that if it got stolen, it would potentially change the game for the negative. You know, yes, if you get it, it does good things. But currently your team has momentum. Why risk that momentum? You know, you not killing the Baron isn't going to stop your momentum right now. But if you do it and they steal it, the momentum completely does a 180 and the enemy team gets the momentum then. So I think it's a good call that Baron wasn't done. You can see Graves' vision here. So I would, in the back of my mind, go, right, we saw Graves here. There is a chance that they're looking for a little bit of a 2v1 around this area. So if I was the Akali, I'd be playing very reserved. You can see the enemy team is hovering Baron, and they're actually starting Baron, which is kind of insane. So where I'd imagine, if you're like, is it not true for the enemy team? The enemy team does not have momentum right now. So they, in my mind, can take a riskier... Oh, here we go. Oh, Gwen gets it. So they can take a riskier decision. They can take a riskier decision, and it pays off big. And there we go. The enemy team are going to file clean up. So I will say that was slightly on blue team not being prepared. They kind of were caught sleeping a bit there. The enemy team just like, boom, we're going to go for it. We're going to do it. And it worked really well. So, yeah. Dragon is also available, but I think they're going to just try and use this to get the first inhib of the game. So realistically, what would I say for Lucian specifically? There's not a lot. Obviously, summoners, if this is correct, I don't even know. But if it's correct, that's another fight with not using sums. Would it have really made that much of a difference? Probably not. But where I would say we are starting to see barrier not really be that good. 2 summoners, in my mind, would be definitely better. Obviously, you're trying your best to kill the Akali kill the Jinx as an Akali. Ignite would be better for that. Realistically, teleport as well. The fact that you could be on side lane, pushing, gaining gold, and oh, the enemy team's doing an objective, I can now TP and get over there in time. That would be really big. So yeah, I would potentially say that's where the advantage of teleport comes. Teleport basically gets better as the game goes on. Because it enables you to continue getting solo XP. It enables you to put side lane pressure of getting minions to move and then come over to help your team. Obviously, that's what I more typically see an Akali run. You know, 9 times out of 10 an Akali will have teleport mid or top. Obviously, you do see some Akalis in top lane. Build, obviously, completely fine for you right now. Graves level 18, so that is not an easy fight. Oh, Morgana getting caught. You do get it, like, that's the thing. There's a world that maybe you could have got that kill. Oh, Jinx is going ham. Ham. Okay, you get it, but so far is dead. This is good. This is not bad. Have the confidence. Okay, it's not too bad. Oh. Oh, we got a bit baited there. Do we have W? We don't. Oh, nice kill, though. One more. Okay. That's not bad. There's the barrier. I don't know if it's going to make you survive. Last tick of Ignite. So that's not bad, though. That you basically saved the game there. The fact that you killed the Sylas and the Brom, that was big. Mel should have enough wave clear that, yeah, the Gwen won't be able to win the game. But she might be able to open up another part of the base. But yeah, I would say, again, we are slightly seeing the negative of not having an AD carry. The Jinx is just so powerful in just scaling and right-clicking. The enemy team can just kind of turtle on that and protect it a little bit, where you don't really have that. And again, like I said earlier, it's not Lucian's fault. Obviously, it is the Akali we're focusing on, but the fact that Yasuo has got Conqueror, he's not got that late-game scaling either. Like, he's not going to be living up to that fantasy of an AD carry. So, a little bit rough, but it is what it is. Seeker's purchase, which I like. So again, will enable you to go quite all in for the Jinx, but then have hopefully a bit of a reprieve of going, and I'm in stasis, you can't kill me, please help me, team. So obviously, enemy team may look to come top lane now because it's the only outer tower left, and there's the Jinx. So what we need to try to get back on, I would say, the blue team, is there was a big, mid-game, Nocturnauts on the Jinx, Nocturnauts on the Jinx, Nocturnauts on the Jinx, and it worked really well. I think we need to get back onto doing that because it was working. I'd go, why are we not fighting this? That Jinx, again, was way, way too alone. You could see that the enemy was running in the jungle here. There was a moment that I think an all-in definitely could have happened. Oh. Okay. Morgana ult has been used. Find. So again, you can see Gwen is bot. She does have teleport, but this is it. There you go. There's the Nocturne. Boom. One dead. Great. So that will hopefully give your team some reprieve. So that's exactly what we're looking for. The Akali and the Nocturne jump on the Jinx, who keeps going alone. Now, without an AD carry, the enemy team, in theory, shouldn't be realistically able to push. Now, one thing, again, have to kind of go on it. Farm. You know, we said, oh, the farm could be better, but you're still quite ahead of the Sylas. Notice that the Sylas has caught up quite a lot. So that basically means Lucian has not been continuously farming as the game's gone on. That's a lot of gold. Like, again, if we just had decent-ish farm, you'd be full build right now. Like, well, you'd at least have your Zhonya's complete, and realistically, you'd have your Zhonya's complete, and you'd probably have another large rod if you're wanting a death cap or a sheen for a lich bane or whatever you're going for. So that is the importance of farming. So Zhonya's has been complete. Presume, I don't know what's the last item for Akali. Again, it could be a death cap, could be a lich bane. I'm not really sure. See, Graves, incredible farming champion, over 300 farm. Yasuo's in trouble. Overextending. Oh, go, go, go. Nice. Very nice. This is good. This is very big. Can Nocturne do it? I don't even know if he can, you know, because Gwen, man. He did, to be honest, just try to stand still on a Gwen. I wouldn't really advise that. Oh, Anna. Not respecting. All right, what would be huge here if you could kill this Sylas? It would be hard, though, but it would be big. Low energy, don't take the fight. Obviously, I know you've got W that can give you energy back, but you typically want to try and start a fight with as high energy as you possibly can. Oh. Oh. That might be game. That might be game. I would try to do something like clear minions. You've got a teammate coming up in just over 10 seconds. So you don't want to die. You want to just kind of, you know, slow their roll as it were. Okay, this is going to be interesting. I would potentially pop W, so you're just sneaky without being caught. Yeah, so I would open to a W. I would open to a W, so then you're not instantaneously... Oh! You're not instantaneously caught. That's what I would have done. Nice. Oh. Damn. And yeah, so you right here. This isn't really anything you could have done massively. This is just the difference of having an AD carry. Jinx can just play in a very rudimentary way, or basic, just I'm going to right click, and she's so ridiculously strong. So yeah, the mistake I'd say, again, another fight potentially without summoner use. So we've had quite a few of them. Flash wasn't available, but barrier might have been. But yeah, I would say, obviously, I'm not like an Akali player, but if I were to, you know, what should you have done differently there? You know it was going to be a crazy fight. You knew CC was incoming, so I would have started with W. Even if it logically doesn't make sense, what you basically wanted to do is put the enemy team on the back foot. So putting W down straight away, going stealth, makes them go, oh, where's Akali? Where instead, when you went to go for your Q or E first to go for damage, they went, bam, just kill her. So sometimes not every combo you're wanting to do in the absolute perfect way. Sometimes it's about, oh, what can I do to put them on the back foot here? And when you're a champion that has a camouflage or stealth, that's a big way of doing it. All right, so again, still potentially winnable. It's still a very close game. You know, yes, you're like, oh, dude, the enemy team's 6,000 gold ahead. 6,000 gold is a lot, but again, remember, it is spread on all 5 champions. And we're also into the kind of, we're in that point of the game that gold is kind of meaningless because mostly everybody is near enough full build. Okay, definitely not get caught. So realistically, I'd go back, everybody go back and to base, and it's one big last fight. So again, I would go pretty early. I would go pretty early. I wouldn't let them. Oh, go! You need to go. You need to go. 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 And yeah, enemy team is just playing too safe. Here we go. And yeah, another again barrier flash available. I think at this point the enemy team is just simply too strong. Morgana unfortunately got a little bit caught out. But what I would say, you know, in the areas, hopefully, you know, you can take it as advice. Not obviously all of this game is on Lucian. You know, the fact that Yasuo had a rough game with Conqueror, you didn't have an AD carry that you can fall back on. Other teammates are also making mistakes, so it's not just on an individual person. But the things that Lucian definitely could have done, barrier, you know, using summoners a bit more, making sure you are using them. I would still question the barrier. I think either ignite or teleport, especially teleport, I think would have been better. Yes, you'd have to be more careful in the early against the Sylas. But that's the point, is you don't have to take those fights in the early game because you're playing something like Akali. She scales incredibly well. And obviously teleport would give you options to when your bot lane's having a bit of a rough time. You could TP and go help bot lane. You could even roam. I've helped bot lane. Oh, Sylas is still mid pushing. Now I can teleport back to mid lane tower. And then obviously in late game, it gives you the option of being side lane, having positive pressure, and then teleporting where a play may be happening. And then, yeah, kind of going for the right play at the right time, really punishing a Jinx that's being alone. That was really good in the mid game, especially Akali and Nocturne were definitely doing that, but that kind of fell off. And, you know, the Jinx still was putting herself in quite precarious situations. But unfortunately, I would say Blue Team Day, there were just a couple examples of people getting caught at the wrong time. And again, that's not completely on, obviously, the Akali or Lucian. So overall, a decent game. I'd say mechanically, Lucian did very well. There wasn't anything majorly mechanically that I would say you need to improve. Like, when people go, oh, you're missing an E here or whatever here, people do that in Master and above. Like, that's just a very human thing. So, overall, to me, pretty positive. With a better either team comp, a Yasuo that took lethal tempo for scaling. This could have been a win, but it was a bit of a flip of the coin 50-50. But anyway, that's going to be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, do throw a like on it, throw a comment, throw a subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Welcome to the Rift, where the legends play. It's Aussie games bringing skill every day. From tips to tricks and play so fine. You'll learn the game and have a good time. Thanks for watching, you're the real MVP. Hit that like and sub, join the family tree. Like, comment and subscribe. Keep the Aussie dream alive.